Remember that sweet, creamy sensation of biting into a pudding pop on a hot summer day? If you're nodding your head, you're in for a treat. We're about to dive into 12 forgotten desserts from the 1970s that deserve a major comeback. From the iconic pudding pop to the mysterious Watergate cake, get ready for a sugar-coated trip down memory lane. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Number 1, pudding pops. As we explore these bygone treats, one stands out as the king of frozen delights. It was smooth, it was rich, and it came on a stick. But this wasn't your ordinary popsicle. Pudding pops burst onto the scene in the late 1970s, revolutionizing the frozen treat market with their creamy texture and irresistible flavors. These frozen wonders were a perfect blend of milk, sugar, and pudding mix, creating a rich and smooth taste that captured the hearts of kids and adults alike. Pudding pops quickly became a household name, offering a variety of flavors from classic chocolate and vanilla to swirled combinations that kept our taste buds guessing. Remember those catchy commercials with Bill Cosby promoting pudding pops? His famous slogan, "Pudding in a Pop," helped make these treats a cultural phenomenon. The unique packaging and non-wood stick design added to their appeal, making them stand out in the freezer aisle. Number 2, magic cookie bars. While pudding pops cooled us down, another 70s sensation was heating up ovens across America. Ever heard of a dessert that's part cookie, part candy bar, and 100% addictive? Meet the magic cookie bar, a treat so irresistible it might just cast a spell on your taste buds. These delightful bars, also known as Hello Dolly bars, were a hit at parties and holidays throughout the 1970s. What made them so special? It was all in the layers. Picture this: a buttery graham cracker crust topped with sweetened condensed milk, chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, coconut, and nuts. Each bite was a perfect blend of textures and flavors that kept you coming back for more. Magic cookie bars weren't just delicious, they were also incredibly easy to make. Number 3, Napoleons, millefeuille. Ever wondered what treat could make you feel like royalty with just one bite? Prepare to discover the dessert that elevated afternoon tea to an art form in 1970s America. Enter the Napoleon, a pastry so elegant it could make even the most casual gathering feel like a royal affair. Napoleons, also known as millefeuille, are a symphony of delicate layers. Picture this: thin, crisp sheets of puff pastry stacked high, with velvety pastry cream nestled between each layer. The name millefeuille actually means thousand leaves in French, referring to the many layers that create its heavenly texture. This fancy French import became all the rage in upscale American bakeries during the 70s. Making a Napoleon was no easy feat. It required precise layering and baking skills, which is why they were often reserved for special occasions and celebrations. Serving Napoleons at your party? That was a surefire way to impress your guests. But as the years went by, our tastes started to change. Simpler sweets began to take center stage, and the intricate Napoleon slowly faded from the spotlight. Yet, for those who remember its buttery, creamy goodness, the Napoleon remains a symbol of dessert perfection. Number 4, Hummingbird Cake. Just when you thought desserts couldn't get more American than apple pie, along came a Southern belle that changed the game. Meet the Hummingbird Cake, a sweet sensation that combines the charm of the South with the flavors of a tropical getaway. This delightful dessert originated in Greensboro, North Carolina, and quickly became the talk of the town below the Mason-Dixon line. What makes the Hummingbird Cake so special? It's all in the unique blend of ingredients. Imagine biting into a slice of cake bursting with ripe bananas, juicy pineapple, crunchy pecans, and a hint of warm cinnamon. This flavorful combination reflects the rich culinary traditions of the South, creating a dessert that's both comforting and exotic. The Hummingbird Cake really took flight in 1978 when it was featured in Southern Living magazine. Mrs. L.H. Wiggins shared her recipe, and suddenly, this cake was showing up at potlucks, family reunions, and church socials all across the South. Number 5, Watergate Cake. While the South had its Hummingbird Cake, Washington, D.C. cooked up a dessert scandal of its own. Ever wondered what a political controversy would taste like if you could serve it on a plate? The Watergate Cake might just give you an idea. Born in the wake of the infamous Watergate scandal, this dessert became the talk of many 1970s gatherings. Its unique ingredients made it stand out: pistachio pudding mix for that eye-catching green color, club soda for a light texture, and pecan frosting for a nutty finish. It wasn't just a cake, it was a conversation starter. The Watergate Cake's popularity wasn't just about its taste. Its name and color added a touch of novelty, making it a must-have at parties. Imagine slicing into this green-tinged cake while discussing the latest political gossip. It was the perfect recipe for a lively 70s get-together. Number 6. Poke cake. Just when you thought desserts couldn't get more creative, the 70s introduced a cake that was full of secrets. Remember the poke cake? It was the dessert equivalent of a magic trick, transforming plain cake into a colorful, flavor-packed treat right before your eyes. The concept was simple, yet ingenious. Bake a cake, poke holes in it, and fill those holes with Jell-O, pudding, or sweetened condensed milk. The result? A moist, flavorful cake with vibrant streaks of color running through it. Each slice was a surprise, with the filling seeping into every bite. Poke cakes became the star of family gatherings and potlucks. They were easy to make, visually appealing, and offered endless possibilities for customization. You could match the cake flavor to the filling, create holiday-themed desserts, or experiment with your own flavor combinations. The popularity of poke cakes was boosted by Jell-O's clever marketing. They showcased how a simple cake could be transformed into a colorful and flavorful treat, aligning perfectly with the 70s embrace of convenience foods and instant products. Number 7. Butterscotch brownies, blondies. While the poke cake faded from the spotlight, another 70s dessert was quietly stealing hearts with its golden charm. Ever wonder why some people go crazy for a brownie that isn't even chocolate? The answer might surprise you and make you crave a taste of nostalgia. Enter butterscotch brownies, also known as blondies. These golden treats were the unsung heroes of 1970s bake sales and after-school snacks. Made with brown sugar, butter, flour, eggs, and baking powder, often enhanced with butterscotch chips, they offered a rich, caramel-like flavor that rivaled their chocolate counterparts. Imagine biting into a chewy square with a slightly crunchy edge, bursting with buttery, sweet goodness. Butterscotch brownies were more than just a dessert. They were a comforting slice of home-baked love. Typically cut into squares and served on platters, these treats were a staple at family gatherings and neighborhood potlucks. Their simplicity and irresistible flavor made them a hit with both kids and adults alike. Number 8. Snowball cakes. As exotic desserts took center stage, one whimsical treat refused to melt away. Ever wonder why some cakes look like they've been hit by a snowstorm, even in the middle of summer? The answer lies in a 70s classic that's begging for a frosty comeback. Snowball cakes were the dessert that turned every day into a winter wonderland, no matter the season. These sweet spheres were a delightful mix of textures and flavors. Picture this: a rich chocolate sponge cake hidden beneath a fluffy marshmallow filling, all covered in a generous coating of shredded coconut. The result? A treat that looked like it came straight from a snowball fight, but tasted like a slice of heaven. Snowball cakes became a big deal in the 70s, popping up at birthday parties, holiday gatherings, and even as after-school snacks. They were usually served as both homemade treats and pre-packaged goodies from brands like Hostess. Their unique look made them a hit with kids and adults alike. Number 9. Magic pan crepe cakes. While some desserts faded away, others kept stacking up the flavor. Ever wondered what happens when you combine the delicacy of French cuisine with the layered indulgence of a cake? The answer lies in a forgotten 70s treat that's due for a comeback: Magic Pan crepe cakes. These gourmet delights originated from the Magic Pan restaurants, which popularized crepe dishes in the 1960s and 1970s. Imagine thin, delicate crepes layered with various fillings, creating a cake-like structure that was both visually stunning and incredibly tasty. The process involved carefully crafting each crepe from a basic batter of flour, eggs, milk, and butter, then layering them with sweet or savory fillings. Magic Pan crepe cakes offered a touch of French elegance to 70s dinner parties. They were a rare gourmet experience, allowing diners to watch the crepes being made right in front of them. This added to their appeal, turning dessert into a show. The versatility of crepe cakes meant they could be customized with different fillings, appealing to both sweet and savory palates. Number 10. Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches. While fancy crepes faded away, another dessert was freezing its place in our memories: Ever wonder why we don't see those tri-colored ice cream sandwiches anymore? The ones that let you taste vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry all at once? It's time we brought back the Neapolitan ice cream sandwich. These frozen treats were a summer staple in the 70s, combining 3 classic flavors between 2 crispy cookies or wafers. Imagine biting into a sandwich and getting a perfect blend of creamy vanilla, rich chocolate, and fruity strawberry ice cream. It was like having 3 scoops in one convenient package. Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches weren't just delicious, they were a feast for the eyes, too. The distinct layers of white, brown, and pink ice cream made them stand out in the freezer aisle and at ice cream socials. Kids loved the fun colors, while adults appreciated the sophisticated flavor combination inspired by Italian gelato traditions. Number 11, Divinity. From frozen delights to heavenly sweets, the 70s were full of sugary surprises. But there's one dessert that truly lived up to its name. Divinity, a pillowy confection that seemed to float on your taste buds, was once the star of every potluck. What made this candy so divine, and where did it go? Imagine biting into a cloud of sweetness that dissolves in your mouth. That's Divinity for you. Made primarily from whipped egg whites, sugar, and corn syrup, this treat often included nuts like pecans or walnuts for an extra crunch. Creating Divinity was no easy feat. It required careful attention to humidity levels, as too much moisture could turn this heavenly confection into a sticky mess. When done right, though, the result was a sweet, airy delight that lived up to its celestial name. Number 12, Tequila Sunrise Cake. While Divinity might have faded into sweet memory, another 70s dessert packed a different kind of punch. Ever wondered what happens when you mix a cocktail's flair with the decadence of cake? Enter the Tequila Sunrise Cake, a dessert that brought the spirit of the popular cocktail right to the dinner table. This vibrant creation was inspired by the layered look of its namesake drink. Picture a cake with striking orange and red hues, mimicking the sunrise effect of the cocktail. The flavors were just as bold, with orange zest, grenadine, and yes, a splash of tequila giving it that signature kick. The Tequila Sunrise Cake became a hit at adult parties and celebrations in the 70s,